Hello, beings of light. Today I bring you Marcelo's NDE. When he was younger, he suffered a pulmonary embolism followed by a cardiorespiratory arrest. Shall we listen to his story? In 2008, I faced a critical moment that completely changed my view of life and death. I always had kidney stone problems since adolescence. At 15 or 16, I needed a lithotripsy to break a large stone with a laser. But in March 2008, I began to feel intense renal colic again. I went to the doctor, who ordered an ultrasound and an X-ray of the kidneys. The exams revealed a stone of approximately 2 centimeters in the right kidney. The doctor suggested surgery, explaining that lithotripsy might require several sessions due to the size of the stone. He said the surgery was simple and that I would be fine in a few days. Concerned about a wedding where I would be the best man that week, the doctor assured me that I could participate normally. So I agreed and had the surgery on March 18th. The next day, I was taken to a regular room, but I was in a lot of pain on my right side and felt generally unwell. Around 7:30 a.m., I fainted for the first time in my life while the nurse was medicating me in the room. It was a quick faint, but it scared me a lot. Later, my doctor came to visit me, and after reporting my malaise, he tried to reassure me, saying the fainting was due to general anesthesia and that the surgery was a success. He removed the kidney drain and said I could go home after lunch. However, I still felt very unwell. Shortly after, when trying to urinate, I felt even worse. I remember holding the nurse's arm and saying, I'm dying, before fainting again. That was when I had my near-death experience. I found myself standing in a room with walls of light, no doors, just walls of light. There was a normal bed, not the hospital bed, but it was empty. I touched my body and realized I no longer felt pain and was wearing a white tunic instead of the hospital's blue outfit. I thought, I think I died. Suddenly, I saw a globe of colored light spinning, which divided into several smaller globes and began to pass in front of me. I saw my entire life, from birth to the moment of the embolism, reliving each phase as if it were happening again. Then a dark tunnel opened on the wall in front of me. I heard beautiful music that brought peace and tranquility coming from a window at the end of the tunnel. I thought, I really died. I heard an inner voice telling me I needed to cross the tunnel. However, I felt fear of the unknown. Even so, I prepared to jump. But a giant hand, dressed in a white tunic, held me and pulled me back. When I felt this pull, my body bent forward, and I woke up in the hospital room, surrounded by doctors and nurses. I felt a terrible pain in my chest, as if my heart had exploded. One of the doctors explained that I had a severe pulmonary embolism followed by a cardiorespiratory arrest, and that my situation was still very critical. I was taken to the ICU, where I began my recovery. During recovery, I underwent pulmonary physiotherapy and took anticoagulants for months. This period was extremely difficult, but I managed to regain my health. The experience drastically changed my view of life and death. Before, I never thought about death, but after the NDE, I realized that death is very close and that life here is just a passage. After the NDE, I went to an event in Jundiai, where an unknown man approached me and said, "Your life was gone. You are in the valley of the shadow of death. But I was with you the whole time. I am the great I am, and brought you back to life, because I still have much to do in you, and through you." This confirmed to me that my experience was real and not a dream. Since then, my values have changed. I give less importance to material things and seek to live to serve others, do good, and act with justice. For me, the real world is where I was during the NDE. Here, we are just passing through. This experience taught me that everything here is ephemeral, and that the most important thing is to make a difference in people's lives. Value being over having, for life here is temporary, but our actions and how we impact others can have lasting significance. The experience of seeing my life flash before me was very intense. I relived moments from my birth to the surgery. I saw my childhood, adolescence, friends, and family, each phase of my life as if it were happening again. It was a very difficult year, but I gradually recovered my health. During this time, I reflected a lot on my experience. Before the NDE, I never thought about death. I lived life without considering its fragility. After the experience, I realized that death is a natural part of life and can happen at any moment. My perspective on the material world also changed. Before, I valued material things a lot and sought comfort and security through them. After the NDE, I realized that these things are temporary and that true value lies in our actions and how we impact the lives of those around us. I decided I wanted to live to serve others, do good, and act with justice. My priority shifted from having to being. The message I want to share with everyone is the importance of valuing people and the moments we have with them. Life is fleeting, and in the end, what really matters are the connections we make and the positive impact we leave in the world. Live in a way that makes a positive difference in the lives of others. That is what truly has value and lasting significance. Additionally, the near-death experience showed me that there is more to life than what we can see or comprehend. I felt a spiritual presence beside me, a sense of being guided and protected. This spiritual experience gave me a new perspective on life and death, and made me realize that life continues after physical death. The sense of peace and fullness I felt during the NDE is something I have never experienced before in earthly life. It was a feeling of being completely connected to something greater, a sense of belonging and unconditional love. When the unknown man approached me in Jundiai and confirmed my experience, it was a powerful moment. He said I had passed through the valley of the shadow of death and that God had a purpose for me. These words resonated deeply within me and reinforced my belief that my experience was real and significant. Since then, I have tried to live my life according to the lessons I learned during the NDE. I strive to be kind, compassionate, and do good wherever I go. I want to leave a legacy of love and kindness and help others see that life is more than just the pursuit of material goods and success. It is about the connections we make and the positive impact we leave in the world. My near-death experience was a spiritual awakening. It showed me that there is a greater purpose in life, and that we should live according to our values and beliefs. We should value each moment and each person in our lives, and strive to do good and be a positive force in the world. I hope my story inspires others to reflect on their own lives and seek to live more meaningfully and fully. Thank you for listening to Marcelo's experiences up to this point. I ask that you share it with those you love and subscribe to the channel.